Hello guys, welcome to London Players Guild. Today I am joined by Scott, who's just below me,
Jazz hands.
the one-handed army, and we have some amazing and exciting news today. Bandai has reached out to us, valued community content creators, in order to reveal these new cards on our YouTube channel. So right here where you're watching it, before they're going to be all shown on their Facebook page, obviously. Disclaimer: we are not representing Bandai. We do not own Dragon Ball card game in any way, shape, or form. All the cards you see are the cards provided to us by Bandai, and they're all property to Bird Studio / Shueisha / Toei Animation, and we were just graciously allowed to show them to you before they're officially spoiled in any other media.
Yeah, and we couldn't have done that without your support, so thank you, everyone, for making this happen. Yeah!
If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to like and subscribe to the video. It does help a lot and it makes the algorithm happy so we can actually make more videos for you. And if you don't know, Dragon Ball is not the only card game that we do, but it's our biggest card game at the moment. So make sure to stick around for more Dragon Ball content and check out our channel. We have a couple of very interesting deck lists there. So definitely something you would find interesting for yourself.
Without further ado, Peter, let's get in to what these people are here for.
Okay, so we ordered those cards and we're starting with the most exciting ones first. So get ready, get your popcorn, and boom! A 2-drop Vegeta 20k vanilla, which is a Vegeta Xeno, 0 cost, 0 combo. This is this is just the vanilla, obviously. I think every color got new 2-drop and 3-drop vanilla in this set, right?
Yeah, with I think most of them so far revealed also have a 1-drop, but Black didn't get a 1-drop,
Yes, I don't
unfortunately.
think Black ever had a 1-drop vanilla.
No.
That's actually a fair point.
Wait, is Preacher? Preacher has a 1-drop Black Vanilla.
Okay, so they had a Black drop, 1-drop.
A Black Vanilla.
Okay. And yeah, we were looking at those cards and thinking, what could this mean? And we came up with some interesting conclusions.
Yeah. So, I mean, paired with the other skillless card which we got, which is Son Goku, a 3-drop 30k skillless, it kind of leads me to think that they're setting not only Black skillless up as a possibility, but it also kind of paves the way for Vegeta Xena and also Gogeta Xena, which is really cool, really characters that I personally really want to see in this game as a huge fan of Heroes and all of that malarkey. All that shenanigans with the Time Patrol. It's just absolutely fantastic from a lore perspective. And having these easily obtainable and playable cards to get out for Potara materials or to match with other Gokus of similar power levels in hand to fuse together. So I think we found a couple of them. Deadly Defender Goku was the main
It was
one.
the biggest one, yes. And
Yeah.
I think there was a new Goku Overarm 6 Double Strike Crit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that was.
So there are some good cards that pair up with Vegeta. Sadly, there's nothing that pairs up with Goku. But obviously, they're also Goku and Vegeta, and we actually didn't had a skillless version of those cards in Black yet.
No.
For both of those.
So the Time Patrol variants of Goku and Vegeta now have a skillless Trunks as well. So nice. Hopefully, we'll get some more Time Patrol agents skillless very soon. But yeah, it's a nice little.
And as it's been said, if we're setting up for Vegito, Zeno, then getting those on board is fairly easy because we have Son Goku The Adventure Begins, which if your leader is black, you can just pay 2 energy once per turn and play either 2-drop or 3-drop from your deck. So it can grab you any material that you need. So grabbing that Son Goku for 30k and then overwhelming into Vegeta, and then you can go into Potara, into Vegito. So you can very, very easily set up yourself for this. It's definitely interesting because now it's way easier to play a mono black skillless deck if you really want to.
Oh yeah.
So definitely something to look out for.
Nariyama and Goku, very strong boys.
Yes,
indeed.
We have 2 different vanillas that have 30k at the moment. Then we're going into Scott's favorite, the Son Goten changing history.
Yes, this is absolutely a fantastic reveal. I absolutely adore Bandai for doing this. First of all, let's go over what the card does. It's a 0-5k combo over realm 3, activate battle once per turn, choose one card in your hand, discard it, switch this card to active mode. Pretty cool effect. It doesn't have
And
like
it's
double
a free
strike
drop
or
15k, which you
that
get.
is also something to mention. Thank you. I'm already running the gun because I'm just like I need to get into the
Yeah.
lore factor of this. But yeah, so it's a cool. It can get swung twice a turn. Well, twice the turn you play it.
Yeah.
Or if it comes in rest mode and you swing with a leader or something, you can still restand this card to try and get that extra attack you want. Or
You can
combo
Shugesh it.
it away. You could Shugesh it if Shugesh wasn't banned.
I mean, there are house rules.
True.
If you play with Shugesh, you can Shugesh him. The
So
fact is that he has the skill even if he's not overwhelmed, summoned, or played.
yes, so if for some reason you get this guy out on the board, he can do his effect, and that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. We've noticed that you can also pair the effect with Beerus Godly
Majesty, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. That's the one.
That.
It's not the Shenron.
Nope.
So that's also possibly some more advantage you want to think about. But the exciting thing, guys, the exciting thing, it's a Sun and Xena, and we have a Trunks Xena. And unfortunately, they didn't give us a Gotenks Xena in this set. But it sets it up.
But yeah, we're getting there, right? Maybe Vegex in the next set will get support for Gohanks and Gotenks. So Trunks is literally being taken apart by his two friends and his father. Everyone wants to fuse with him.
It's true. And why wouldn't you? Like, Time Patrol Trunks is definitively the best version of Trunks, and if anyone disagrees, come at me. But yeah, no, I'm like this draft box introduces two very important Time Patrol characters. We've seen the first one. I'm very excited. It opens the door, like, is what I'm saying. The door is open.
Now Bandai just need to walk through it.
Yeah.
And we believe in you. You can do it.
Set 12 could be a whole different game, right? Like, it's going to be crazy to think about what's going on.
Next card, Boiling Berg. It's a 1-drop extra card. Activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp. At the end of the opponent's next turn, play the card sent to their warp with this skill to their battle area with its skills negated for the turn. So it's essentially... Okay, so I misread it before. It's essentially a Mafuba.
Yeah.
That doesn't go around barrier.
It goes to the warp.
Yeah, the card goes to the warp, so you get the skills of the cards when the card leaves the field. It doesn't have its skills when it comes back for the rest of the turn. So it doesn't have the on-play skills. So you don't get skills when this card is played, draw 10 cards or whatever. Because we know there are cards like that. It doesn't have any of that. You can remove a card for this turn and the next turn. So your opponent won't have access to the card either. It's a bit better than I thought, but I still don't think that's that good. It's an interesting card, interesting design.
Right? In Constructed, I don't see how you would put this in the deck just yet. Who knows what's... Again, this could be a card that becomes very valuable in the future.
Yeah.
I feel like the last time we saw something similar to this was like the Time Kicker hit counter from Tournament of Power way back when. I think it did something similar of like removing a card. I think it might be more card.
Way more recent, Pretty Black Hole.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah, okay.
It was Pretty Black Hole, which people were not happy with because it was not a very good card. And then they made the free play counterplay.
Yeah. So who knows what it has in store for this card?
Yeah.
But if you have ideas, please let us know in the comments because we kind of drew blanks on this one. But I think in draft this would be really good to have there because obviously it gets rid of a problem card for you. Whereas in
Constructed, buys you a turn against the problem card, right?
In Constructed right now, we don't see where it fits in. But I'm sure some of the people who are more versed with Black Decks and Demigra could easily be like, oh, well, that immediately goes to this, therefore it's amazing. So We just
Yep.
didn't see it, but I'm sure the community can easily figure out what to
Yep.
use this
I mean,
for.
it's just the thing. There is not many cards that care for your opponent's warp, right? The only thing
Mm.
I came up with was the one drop Raditz, and that's very, very niche.
Yeah, that is super niche, but if that makes Raditz awesome, who knows? That could be
A
this
remote
could be.
series bomb didn't make Raditz awesome, so this won't either.
It's a good tech, right? It's smart.
The next one is True Power Unleashed with an amazing.
Activate main,
With
draw one card, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, and send it to the owner's warp, and it's a
yeah,
2 cost.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
an
it.
amazing artwork.
No restrictions, Peter. It
No
is
restriction.
just
Doesn't check the leader. It just costs 2 energy. You replace it immediately, and you get rid of one of your opponent's battle cards. The only issue with this card is I don't think it has a fit in the current meta. Because current meta is turn 3, you just drop a bunch of 6 drops on board.
mm,
And that's that. I
that's
like the
true.
fact that it warps. It doesn't send it to the drop area. So again, you can't reclaim it. Warping effects have always been really, really strong effects. Definitely way
Yeah.
better than bouncing back to hand, which came back in blue,
Mm.
which we have seen.
So
But
yeah, maybe this could be like a blue tech option, just to be like,
yeah,
right, instead of us bouncing stuff, we can warp it, which
yeah.
blue might or might not need at some points in the future. Um,
But it's another
I
card
really like it.
that warps a card, which is nice. It replaces itself. It's a very good removal. It reminds me a lot about Remote Series Bomb, but it gives you more
Mm.
control and
Yeah.
replaces itself. But you pay for that by increasing the cost by 1 and
Mm.
putting a limitation. Pardon me, putting a limitation by increasing the, or rather reducing the what you can target to a 4 drop or less.
Yeah.
It's a shame it can't hit unisons. I think if this could also if it
Or remove
had,
a mark.
yeah, or remove a marker, I think this card would be way more playable.
But right now, I don't know. I think it's got potential. Like that extra draw could be interesting,
But the
especially
thing
if we
is
see
that
cards.
in draft is going to be really strong, right? Because
Oh
it's
yeah,
2 energy, draw 1 card. In
if you're
constructed,
drafting, you want this card.
2 energy will net you 2 cards with the Saiyan Instinct.
Yeah, yeah, really
So
good card. Yeah.
yep.
Next up,
And
we have Super Dragon Flash.
yeah, we have Super Dragon Flash, which on surface is not that good, but then when you think about it, it actually
It's very
is strong. So it's a 1 drop extra card, counter attack, negate the attack. Then you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, you choose up to 1 black skillless battle card with energy cost of 3 or less in your hand and play it in rest mode. So
so.
you lose 3 cards from your hand and then get 1 card on board, so you -2 technically. But in practice, you go turn 1, you
Mhm.
charge an energy, and you pass the turn because you can't attack on turn 1, right?
Yeah.
So no point playing any cards or anything like that because that would give your opponent a target for removal.
Mhm.
But majority of the leaders right now have on the front side when this card attacks, draw 1 card. So your opponent's most likely to attack. Then you can negate the attack, discard a card from hand, Saiyan Instinct, or if you're playing a black leader, which you most likely will be, you can discard the Majin Buu that lets you discard a card and draw 2.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you play a 30k body from your hand on board in rest mode that your opponent can't really interact with on turn 1. You go into your turn 2, it restarts, and it's like you paid 1 energy for 30k body that you can immediately use to attack. In the
Yep.
later game, it's a 1 drop negate the attack, right?
Mhm.
Which black doesn't have that many, especially if we're going towards rotation. I think this is one of 2. No, I think it's the only. No, it's one of 2 cards in black that has the stamp UW that negates the attack.
Yeah. I think it's a really cool card. Like I said, the -3 2 on paper does sound like scary. Doesn't sound that good, but yeah, the utility of it, especially early game, to put that 30k beat stick on board, it could be great. And I believe you were talking about Dark Broly could have some nice uses for this as well.
Yeah, there are uses with Dark Broly here. Because Dark Broly obviously plays. Majority of the black decks play from the drop area, right?
Yeah.
So that discarding, even Hachiak would really like this card because you can discard something that can be put back into the deck.
Yeah. Oh, androids, not androids, agents of destruction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there
I
is
don't know what you would, I don't know what you would play for the skillless, but I'm just saying
an option, but a lot of black decks do play with drop. So discarding that one card is actually not that much of a problem, and the Majin Buu exists as well, as I
yeah.
said. So it does let you rotate a bit more cards, and I think this is a really strong common to pick up,
Yeah,
because this card is
definitely a
still a
really.
common.
If nothing else, it's a one drop negate for
Yeah.
black. Actually,
I
for
think
any
this
color.
card will see some play. I don't think it's going to be ridiculously expensive like Topo, but I think some black decks will prefer this
Mm,
alongside Power Burst.
Yeah, really cool card.
And then we go into uncommons and another of Scott's favorites.
Yeah, so I'm Sun Gohan, changing history, one drop, 5k combo, 4k power. You know what this is by now, guys. If you have seen Aspira's video, if you've seen Cyberman's video, if you have seen Hayden's video, Eggman,
Yeah.
you know exactly what type of card this is. Um, so barrier, auto, when you play this card, when this card is played, I should say, draw a card. Auto, once per turn, when your opponent switches their energy to active mode using a counter skill, place up to one card in your opponent's life and one card in your opponent's energy in their drop area. Okay, that's a crazy good card, and Black got some love with having generic cards, which is fantastic. Thank
I
you,
mean,
Bandai.
we are going back to the times when Black had an answer for everything, right? Which was the
Yeah.
silver bullet color. We had Tianxin Han, we had Mercenary Tao, we had Chronoa, we had Dende, we had Kami, we had Toki Toki, which could search them. And I actually like the Toki Toki engine.
Mm.
This, I'm. This is a punishment for blue decks that was not needed.
That's I think yes, but I think it's a check to baby more than anything. Maybe they
Yeah,
checked baby
but
too hard.
baby has not been as powerful, right? As people were worried because it doesn't have as much draw power. A lot of
Uh,
its card
mm,
advantage lets you choose a card in your hand, and then if you add something to hand, you need to put something at the bottom.
yeah.
So you don't actually build card advantage. The only way to build card advantage is with the unison, which then can be attacked
Mm.
into and zeroed out.
And I think it's more of an attempt to get people to look at Aegis as an option. Aegis could come back, I don't know. But another good point about this card is it's a Gohan Xeno, our first Gohan Xeno, which now opens the door for Gohanks, another amazing heroes fusion that goes alongside Trunks. And it's
Yeah.
just cool to see. It's nice to see two more agents. So basically, the only one we're missing now is Pan. So if set 12 gives me Xeno Pan, I'm going to be over the
Well,
moon.
Pan is also there with the Xeno.
Is she?
Is she?
Oh no, she is. Yes, sorry. You're asking me if she is.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
asking
she
you
is.
because I
Yeah,
don't follow heroes, so
no,
I'm
yes,
actually
she
checking
is.
with you.
Yes, yes,
Interesting
she
to
is.
see that it says Dark Demon Realm Saga, not Special Saga.
It's cool. It's
So
cool to
they're
have.
actually starting to differentiate between the different sagas in
Yeah,
Xeno.
which is it's awesome to see because like it's not a major thing, but it's always
Yeah,
disheartening seeing just special there, and it's like, guys, come on, give us the love, give us those like part of the community that's a proper nerd into this weird. I don't want to say nonsensical, this weird fan mashup of all of the Dragon Ball lore into this crazy timeline, and it's
yeah.
fantastic. But another changing history card we have.
Yes, we do. It's Trunks changing history. A 4 drop 20k, 0 cost 5k combo. Overwhelm 4, and you need to pay 2 energy to play it with Overwhelm. But when this card is played using Overwhelm, play up to one black skillless battle card with an energy cost of 3 or less from your deck or warp. Then shuffle your deck if you looked through it. So this reminds me very much about the Trunks that let you play 2 drop and gave it critical for 1
Mm,
energy and Overwhelm 3. This one is 5k bigger, lets you put a 30k beefy body on board that lets you stop some attacks.
mm.
Well, not stop some attacks, it's harder to stop its attack, as Broly proved. The Dark Broly proved that 30k attacks on turn 2 onwards are really scary, right?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And it lets you play one from the warp, so it's very easy to recur the cards that you use to overwhelm this. If you overwhelm with exactly 4 cards in a drop and one of them is the card that you can play with this, then you reduce the cost essentially to overwhelm 3.
That or you thin out your deck and find a piece you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are lots of ways, and of course this will go away at the end of a turn, but the skillless will not.
Mm.
So there are things you can do with this. Sadly, this needs to pull out black skillless battle card, which makes it a bit worse, but it can also put a free drop, which means it can pull a 30k battle card on board, which the
Yeah.
other one was not able to.
No. And again, future proofing. If Vegeta Xeno becomes a thing and you need the other one on board to make that Patara happen, this is your go-to boy.
Yep.
You can get it from your deck. You can get it from your warp. Like, the only place you wouldn't be able to get it from is if your life. And if it's in your life, that is just unfortunate RNG.
I mean,
But
you
it
would play
happens.
4 of each, right? More than
Of
4,
course, of course.
if you
So
can.
it's on paper, it's cool for draft. Like it's cool in constructed. I don't see where it fits right now, but
Yep.
again, it could open that door, and it could be a fusion target.
It's a
For
bit sad
Gohan.
that it only searches for black skillless cards. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, if it was just skillless, it would have been
Yeah,
cooler. Yeah.
definitely would
Uh,
prefer it if it searched
Next up,
skillless.
I think we go to the dark side, right?
Yes, we're going to the demon side. To the dark
With
demon realm.
yes, with Demon Realm Sorcerer. Do you want to run through this effect, Peter? It's quite
Sure.
a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. So it's a 2-drop 15k, 0 cost 5k combo. When this card attacks, you choose one of the below 3 effects. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less and send it to its owner's warp. So it's a removal for weenies.
Mm.
Place up to 2 cards from the top of your deck in your drop area, and this card gets plus 5k power for the turn, so fueling overwhelm. Add up to 1 card from your life to your hand at the end of the turn. Return this card to its owner's hand. So self-awakening and card advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in draft, this card is going to be a monster. It doesn't require any leader. It helps you set up whatever you actually need at this moment. If you draw it early, you can use it to self-awaken
Mm-hmm.
while keeping the card advantage. If you draw it late, you can use it as removal for weenie blockers or something like that. Or you can use it to set up your overall.
Yeah.
In constructed though, I don't think this card is going to see much play. It's too slow to a current gameplay.
Unless there's a in the future where there's a 1-drop Demagogue or Gravy or something like that that lets you get this Demagogue out for not paying 2, essentially, right? That's the key here. Is
Yeah,
like
if there was
always playing
something
a
that would
card.
let you play the Migra 2-drop or less, or any evil wizard, or I don't know, whatever else for 2 or less, that would be fine.
Mm.
But even then, I don't think it would have enough impact.
Okay, that's fair. I
Because
mean,
it's all small effects, and all of those effects could easily be put on a 1-drop.
yeah, I could see that because you've got, like you said, there is the self awaken which we have seen on 1-drops like Cabba, Pan,
Yes, and
Trunk.
this is more
Like
of a pan, right? Because it
yeah.
becomes a 15k. It's still a 15k. It's always 15k, but yeah,
Mm.
its self-awakening is like pan. Milling 2 cards from the top of the deck. I'm quite sure we had Haru Haru and Shun Shun that did that.
Yeah.
And just warping one of your opponent's 2 or less on the attack. I think that would be a 2-drop skill, but it's still very, very slow. I think it's more of a leader skill than anything else. So a
Mm.
skill that's not strong enough that you would need to actually pay energy for it. It is a skill that you could easily put on the leader and it would be perfectly balanced there.
Yeah. I think it's nice to see that they haven't forgotten Demogret or the Evil Wizards. It's like you say, in constructed again. It's hard to place where this
Yeah.
would go right now. Demogret players might be loving this and be like, "Guys, how can you not see this?" But right now, I think me and you are both on agreement that in constructed, it's a bit hard to place, but it's nice to see that Demogret hasn't been forgotten. The Evil Wizard is definitely going to rise again at some point.
We have lots of
Um,
evil wizards, so yeah.
and destroy history. Who knows? Speaking of destroying
Well,
history,
yeah. Speaking of destroying history, do you want to take that one or shall I take
yeah,
it,
let's
Ted?
go for it. Right, so we got Demon God Demigre, Destroyer of History, a 4-cost 0-5k combo, 20k power, Overrealm, Overrealm 4, Auto, Peer 1, not specified black, which is nice to see. It's back to just paying 1. If you have 3 or more energy and you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, hey Beerus, hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
When this card is played using Overwhelm, activate this skill. At the end of your turn, or at the end of the turn, sorry, choose up to 1 Demigra card with an energy cost of 5 in your deck or hand and play it. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Now, immediately we go to the new SR of this set as a viable target for draft, because that is what you would pick with that effect. But we went back in time and looked through the Demigra cards we came up
We
with.
went quite back in time, didn't we?
Back to the third expansion, the Ultimate Box, and revealed that let's get this name correct. So we have Forced Absorption Demigra. I have it right here. Coincidence? I had this on my table. So yeah. And what this boy does is it's a triple strike. It's a 5k, 30k. So again, it's quite
30K.
a problem.
5 cost 30k.
Yeah, sorry. And then when it attacks, if your leader is a demon god, combo all your opponent's pieces, ignoring barrier, basically, on board.
Well, essentially, if your leader is Demon Realm, if you have 15 cards in your warp, you get rid of your opponent's board.
Yeah. The caveat being, obviously, you play this at the end of your turn, you don't get the swing of the turn you overwhelm this card. But it does put a threat on board that your opponent has to deal with, because you can't let the board return to you with this on board.
Yes, that is
especially
true.
if you've
it's
gone
a very
wide.
good thing that objection is banned.
Yes. Oh my god.
Otherwise, turn 2 you would objection into 1 energy, and then you would be able to go into Destroyer of History. And essentially, if you went first, your opponent would be on 2 energy, and they would need to answer that Demigra.
They balance this well. If you have 3 or more energy, and you have to discard as well, like really good design on the card. But like, the possibilities of bringing back an old school card like Forced Absorption.
I mean, you say bringing back that. I don't think that card ever seen play.
Maybe not, right? On a competitive level, I don't think it did get its chance to shine. I know in like casual locals and stuff, there was someone at my locals who used to play Demigra religiously and always would try and bring this card out. So it is cool to see. It is cool to see another nice way to bring it out. So yeah, I love it. I absolutely adore this card. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And now we're going into SR territory, finally.
Yep. The ones you've all been waiting for.
And let's start with Demon God Demigra, True Power Unleashed. So
you got this one.
Yeah, I have this one because this is a Dark Broly card, so of course I have this one. Don't be deceived. This is not a Demigra support. This is a Dark Broly support. I'm telling you. 5-drop 30k, 0 cost 5k combo. It has Overwhelm 5 for 2 energy or Dark Overwhelm 5 for 2 energy. So this has been spoiled some time ago in the designer notes. For people who don't know the difference, Overwhelm 5, you need to have 5 of any cards in your drop area, and at the end of a turn, the card goes to your warp. A Dark Overwhelm 5 means that you need to have 5 black cards in your drop area, and at the end of a turn, the card stays on board. So
he sticks around.
He sticks around. He's not
Big
removed.
Daddy Demigra.
Yeah. That's why the secret Demigra was so strong, because it was Dark Overwhelm, which a lot of people keeps on forgetting. When this card is played using Overwhelm or Dark Overwhelm, you draw 1 card, so immediately replace itself. Then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to owner's warp, so immediately gain value. And when this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to the warp. So the Dark Broly is able to play this card pretty much on turn 2 as a Dark Overwhelm and just swing in. You don't really need to remove anything with it because it's a threat. It's a big threat that you can keep on recurring in Dark Broly. I mean, Dark Broly is the way. Dark Broly leader is the one leader that would have the most value out of this card, I think.
Yeah, I as soon as it was revealed, you were like, "That's Dark Broly card," and I was like, "Oh damn, you're right! Oh damn, he's right!"
And it's really strong in Dark Broly, right?
It's really good. I mean, it is also used for Demigra. You can play this in Demigra, but yeah, currently speaking, Dark Broly is the very good choice to put this boy in because you have to deal with it. you do. You can't leave this on board.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, and there are
So
ways of dealing with it. It doesn't have value.
leader can easily tutor it, putting it in the drop area, or
Yeah.
it can refund the cost you used to play the card as well,
Hmm.
which is
It,
amazing.
it's magnificent. It is such a magnificent thing, and I have to shout out to the designers here. Having the option to both Overrealm and Dark Overrealm
Yes.
really helps the versatility of this card. And it's just a cool little flavor thing. It's like
I would like to see a different scales for Overrealm and Dark Overrealm.
yeah,
A small difference, but for example, if you played this card using Overrealm, you just get to warp a card. But if you play it with Dark Overrealm, you draw a card and warp a card.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Something
It's baby steps,
to
right?
put the difference between Overrealm and Dark Overrealm.
Yeah, it's cool. This shows that they're like evolving the Overrealm in a different way that we haven't seen before, and it's really cool. I like it. I like it a
It's
lot.
really nice because Dark Overrealm has been forgotten for a very long time.
Yeah, I can't remember the last card we had with Dark Overrealm that stuck around.
Set 4.
Possibly, right?
I think that's when it was introduced and that's when it was left.
When Demagogue made its brief comeback a couple of sets ago with the power booster, maybe. Other than
that
that,
was not Dark Overrealm. That was normal Overrealm.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was just.
Then you played the 7-drop on top.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's cool to see Dark Overrealm.
Yeah, Dark Overrealm is a really nice skill. And then we go into your wife.
My wife, Toa, my babe, I love her so much. She's one of the best characters in Dragon Ball. Again, don't at me, she's fantastic. And I can't just be considered a Heroes fanboy because she's in Xenoverse. So
she's also in DBC Kakarot.
Yes, she is. I forgot they appear in that. That's such a weird cameo.
Yeah, it is. Especially there's supposed to be more of them.
Yep. So Toa, Dark, Demon, Realm, Scientist. She's our Unison super rare, which is awesome. The other colours kind of got uncommon unisons, correct? Yeah.
But
so it's
they
nice
got
to
way
see
more SRs.
Nice to see Black explode into an awesome unison. Obviously, with Black unisons, you don't have a specified cost. You could pay one if you want to. This card does have the permanent of this card can't attack if it has 2 or fewer markers, so you need 3 markers on it to be able to attack. Don't really need to attack with this card. It's a 20k base. Your opponent's going to have to put some effort into removing her. Yeah. So you could play her for 1, and then they have to deal with it. She has an awesome auto ability of once per turn, when one of your opponent's battle cards is removed from the battle area by a skill or KO'd, add a marker to this card. This isn't either player's effect either. So if you activate Swap, for example, she's getting Successor. A marker. Successor, also a very good skill that people like to play. Overrealm at the end of the turn, right?
Yes, that is true. That card is removed by a skill, correct?
Yeah, so lots of cards that you just wouldn't think of initially, like keyword skills that you just normally take for granted. You might have to think twice about that with her now. And she also has the activate main of choose one card in your hand, discard it, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 3 or less, and warp it, thus giving her her own marker.
It turns any card in your hand into a removal, right? For 3 drops or less. But against weenies, that is a really good thing to do. And again, discarding Saiyan Instincts, Ribrianne, Majin Buu, there's more and more decks that play from the drop area. This card is really good for just fueling that.
Yeah, such a brilliant effect. Like, it is like, how do I get this card in my drop? If I'm going to put this in my drop, I'm going to get removal, and I'm also gaining marker. It's just such a value. It's such a value play. And like you said, this isn't limited to black. This can go in any deck. It is awesome. I love this card so much.
Shall we talk about the elephant in the room then?
Her -4 activate main, her ultimate ability. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. Hello, Mechikabura. You have been sent to the back because she is here and she is amazing and I love her and it's just great.
Have you ever wanted to play Mechikabura but you only play mono blue? Here's your Mechikabura.
The only downside to this effect, and I will state this, is that it doesn't switch to active mode.
It does not switch to active mode, but it can be used in any deck. It can gain 2 markers per turn, unlike Mechikabura, which gains 1 marker per turn.
How does she gain 2 markers?
One during your turn, one during your opponent.
Oh, right. Okay, so I get what
Sorry,
you're saying. Not just in your turn.
per
Yeah,
rotation, it gets 2 markers.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Magic Aura only gains 1 marker and then usually loses 1 marker because of the blocker ability.
Mm. So she's awesome. I absolutely
But you
adore
can
it. Yes,
also just pay 4 energy, play her,
and take something.
and take something, right? Or pay
Yeah,
5 energy, play her, -4, take something, and because the battle card was removed from your opponent's battle area, she gets a marker.
yeah. Buy a skill. Yeah,
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 because changing battle areas from your opponent's to yours is leaving a battle area. So you would get a
yeah.
marker.
Again, so it's lots of versatility to this super rare. Absolutely fantastic. She looks strong on paper, right? We can't deny that she looks strong on paper. But the more you look into this, and the
Yeah,
more intricateness that goes into this auto and her activate main,
she's going to be an absolute beast.
she is, and she's not like limited or anything. So go and get
Yeah.
4 of her because she can just go
In
anywhere
the
and
worst
do
case,
whatever.
she's a really strong sideboard card.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Adore her. And it's a nice little callback. I think we have the card to put up on screen as
Yep, you
well.
do.
Callback to when she first made her debut alongside
Yeah.
the Mass Saiyan Time Patrol stuff in 2-drop Overrealm. Is it 3-drop? 2-drop?
So it's a 4-drop 10k Overrealm 4.
There we go. Yeah.
And when you play this card using Overrealm, choose up to 1 opponent's battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less. Sorry, it's very small text. And gain control of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it harkens back to that. Obviously, she's a lot stronger now. But yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a nice little bit of calling back to where she came from. Because Towa's been about the place, right? She's had all of these crazy effects, and it's nice to come back to where she started. I think it's nice because even in set 3, when if you wanted to count that as her main debut, she had a similar effect.
The
Whether
Zima Evolved
it
one, right?
yeah. So
Because she also had the 1-drop in that set that searched for Masen or Mira, which actually was
yeah,
played in Toa.
yes, it's really cool. I am super happy that they've gone this route with Toa, like bringing her back to that. It's a really strong unison card, guys. We're telling you, you probably want to pick 4 of these up. You probably want to pick 4
Definitely.
Demigorgons up as well. Like, don't sleep on them, guys. They're really good
Yeah,
cards. Actually,
pick up the SRs while they're cheap, because then they're going to go up in price again, and
yeah.
yeah, everyone
And
is
we
going to
don't
be
want that.
complaining.
We don't want you guys missing out because these are some awesome
Yeah,
cards with some really cool and interesting design quirks to them, and possibly a lot of future proofing, which I'm sure we'll see with set 12 and beyond.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up because that's all we have for you guys. Thank you very much to Bandai for giving us this opportunity. We are definitely looking forward to do more things like that because, as you probably know, we are involved with a lot of events here in Europe. So you can
Hmm.
see the Scott or myself on many events as streamers.
Yeah.
So we are definitely looking forward to getting maybe more spoilers for you guys. So maybe some
Yeah.
booster boxes to open
If you
or
guys want to see it, if you guys want to see
yeah,
it, let us know. Like,
let us
comment,
know.
subscribe. Let Bandai know. Be like, hey, these guys are crazy passionate. Scott really cares too much about Dragon Ball Heroes. Let's give him the Shadow Dragons to reveal for set 12.
Yeah,
Um,
we need Omega Shenron secrets to reveal for
yeah.
you.
There we go. That's our goal, guys. Again, thank you, Bandai. It was a complete surprise and a real honor. We're small, but we're growing, and we're doing a lot for the community as well. So it's just nice, right? It's just a nice opportunity.
Thank you guys for watching, and we hope that you're keeping safe in those trying times, and we'll see you around next time.